Hey there, I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz. We are under first alert weather mode through tonight because we are going to have that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. So not just your typical thunderstorms we may see over Puget Sound, the convergence zone. We're talking a lot of lightning, potentially some large hail, gusty winds, and there is a very low chance for a tornado or two. I'll break this all down for you in full detail over the span of the next couple of minutes. All of Western Washington, we're under this first alert weather day because of that potential. But the strongest storms are going to favor Puget Sound and southward. Again, I'll show you where and what we can expect. The Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, rarely issues severe weather outlooks for Western Washington, but we do have a pretty rare slight risk. That's that yellow color. That's a level 2 out of 5 on the scale. It goes from 0 to 5, a slight risk. This is where we have the greatest confidence and the ingredients, the greatest ingredients for strong to severe thunderstorms to develop as they move from south to north. The green color, that's a level 1 risk, a marginal risk, also the chance for some of these thunderstorms, but it's really where we have the areas shaded in yellow. So from about Snohomish County southward, again, lightning, large hail, gusty winds, and downpours. Main concern, should any thunderstorm turn strong to severe, hail, very large hail, but either way, whether it turns severe or not, some smaller hail will be possible. There is going to be that chance for quick downpours and a lot of lightning. As I said, tornado threat is lower, but still not zero. And I'll show you where we could have that better chance for some of them to develop. Here's a look at the large hail risk. So you see areas shaded in this yellow, once again, showing where that slight risk was from Snohomish County southward. That means a 15% chance for some large hail. You see these black hatched areas? That means there's a chance for even larger hail, significant hail, perhaps 2 inches or greater in diameter. It's not a guarantee, but this is where we're expecting at least that potential greater chance for some of these really strong updrafts. In terms of the hail sizes, when we say strong to severe thunderstorms have a very specific criteria. Could have wind gusts 58 miles per hour or greater, hail 1 inch in diameter or greater for it to be considered severe. And so you see 1 inch in diameter, roughly quarter size, but those areas I showed you with the hatching, the black hatching, 2 inches in diameter or greater. And so there is that chance, though it's not a guarantee, but that's where we're expecting the best chance for this. With that being said, I want you to take proper precautions, find a place for your cars to go this evening. And again, we all have that potential even for some smaller hail, but when you're talking hail 1 inch in diameter or greater, that could be pretty destructive. So a carport, a garage, a parking garage, and so on and so forth. The tornado risk. Let's talk about that because there's so much chirp on social media about the threat for tornadoes. And typically Washington averages 2 to 3 per year. And yes, there is that chance for a brief spin up tornado on the weaker side of things. So the threat is low, but still far from zero. Initially, the Storm Prediction Center showed that there was a 2% risk. And you see that's that green color, which includes, once again, Snohomish County southward. But as of this morning, the Storm Prediction Center also showed an area from about Pierce County and then the Thurston County line all the way into Oregon under a 5% chance for tornadoes to develop. Still on the low side of things, but slightly a greater chance than what we were thinking before. And so basically from South Sound all the way to the foothills, that's where we will have that chance, even though it is lower. Another risk that we could be facing, damaging winds, roughly a 5% chance. So most spots are facing that risk for some damaging winds, even though it's about 5%. And then the hail, that tornado threat is much lower and more isolated and really more so confined to the I-5 corridor southward. Damaging winds, as I mentioned, roughly 60 mile per hour or greater. Here's some severe weather tips. Always make sure going into the storm season, I know this is rare, but it's always good to have multiple ways to receive alerts. Don't just focus on maybe your phone, because if you lose power, your phone dies. King 5 weather app will be a good tool to have because you'll have the latest from the First Alert weather team. You can check the radar, time out the storms for you, as well as track the storms as they're ongoing. Also, King 5 will have all the coverage, everything you need to know coming up noon and then pretty much all night long. Also, a very important thing, wireless emergency alerts. Those are WEA. Those will trigger if there's a tornado warning or a significant severe thunderstorm warning. Typically, a severe thunderstorm warning isn't triggered by WEA unless we get wind gusts about 70-mile-per-hour winds or greater and very large hail. It's typically those tornado warnings. Again, that's not a guarantee, but it will alert you. If you get amber alerts, you more than likely will get those as well, but you can go and check on your phone the settings. You can go to notifications, and then with an iPhone at least, scroll all the way to the bottom, and that's when you'll see amber alerts, WEA, and click emergency notifications, and then make sure all things are toggled on, including local alerts. Weather radio, a lot of people may not have that, but it's also a good tool to have. Your default weather app on your phone, when you download it, the just default one. That will also let you know if the National Weather Service has issued a watch or a warning, if it's using your location. So current location as well. So it is hyper-local, and so once the Weather Service issues anything, it should alert you. Know the difference between a watch and a warning. A lot of people don't know or get the two confused. A watch, that means conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms. Essentially, think of it as watch the weather. It doesn't mean take immediate action, but know where you will go in case a warning is issued. Warning, act immediately, put that severe weather safety plan into motion. Where to go during a warning. Thankfully, in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of us do have basements, but if you don't, lowest level of your home or building, interior room away from windows. With this being so rare, a lot of people want to go outside or get closer to the window, take videos, take photos. Stay away from the windows, be inside, because again, with a lot of lightning, cloud to ground lightning could be deadly. And so it's not going to be good to go out and take photos and videos, although I know it's tempting. But if a warning has been issued and if you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. We say when thunder roars, go indoors. But always basement is best, especially because we have such large trees. You don't want to be on any exterior walls, and you don't want to be at the highest level of your home. Timing wise, so most of the day we're dry, though we could have a couple of thunderstorms developing this morning, but with clearing skies, and the reason why the risk for severe weather is pretty high for us, it's because we have an incoming system. It's a cold core system, so above we have colder temperatures. And what's unusual with this setup, we typically have cooler temperatures below and above, but with temperatures so warm at the surface, this system's going to take full advantage of the warm and really moist air mass we have in place. Record high temperatures once again today. And so with that being said, we're going to have a lot of instability. So we're going to have that unstable air mass with very warm and moist conditions. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. These types of storm systems and storms in general love that for thunderstorms to grow in intensity as well as in coverage as well. And it's going to take full advantage with lift. We'll have our topography typically that really enhances that, but we also have that system moving in. Warm air rises, and then we get that extra lift from that system, so extra assistance. In terms of timing, you see this is around 6, 7 o'clock. We'll get a line of showers and thunderstorms moving in from the south. They're going to blow up over southern Washington and northern Oregon, and then they're going to quickly move from south to north. Here's about 8:30. We could get one round, and that would move over the Olympic Peninsula as well, closer to sunset and beyond. And we could get one other round of showers and thunderstorms. More than likely not going to be severe because the first round will take advantage of that unstable environment. So our environment could become more stable, maybe not taking all of that energy in place just yet, but then it's going to quickly move to the north as well. By about midnight or so, the worst of it will be over. Again, from south to north, and then we're just going to have some gusty showers overnight. As you see, here's about noon tomorrow, and we'll just have showers, cooler temperatures instead of the 60s and 70s. We're going to have highs in the 50s and 60s once again. Opening day is tomorrow, likely going to have a closed roof. Hopefully I'm wrong, but we'll have rain around and maybe a couple of thunderstorms still with this system hanging by. But we're not expecting severe thunderstorms. So maybe a rumble of thunder, lightning, but most of it's going to fall as rain. Thursday night into Friday, you see more passing showers. Friday will also have some lingering showers, and Friday will be cooler. Now, this is an estimated storm arrival time, and you notice how there's a pretty big window because typically these do speed up or they will slow down. In this given environment, especially once we get some of those outflow winds, it could speed up and amplify, basically from south to north, accelerate, not amplify. But either way, we are going to have the line of storms again, maybe near the border, 4 to 6 o'clock or so, give or take an hour. And then it's going to move to the north, 5 to 8 p.m., I would say again, from south to north. The farther south you are, it's going to be a little earlier, and then about 7 to 9, 7 to 10. How to prepare. So before, always a fair game is to charge electronics. As I mentioned, nowhere to go if a warning is issued. Move a car to a garage or some other kind of form of cover, and clear storm drains. That's always something to keep in mind with these big systems anyway, just because you don't want any issues in terms of flooding. And then, as I mentioned, have ways to get alerts. During it, don't plan to go outside. Make sure about 6, 7 o'clock or so, if you live in the Seattle area, you're done with all of your any maybe errands you have, just to ride out the storms and so you don't have to be on the roads. Make sure you move away from windows, always good for that, and watch the weather coverage. The King 5, King 5 Plus, king5.com, as well as King 5 on television. You can check radar and be ready to act if needed. If we get any storm damage, just make sure you stay away from any down trees or power lines and stay off the roads if you can. And you can always report any damage to us directly, the National Weather Service, and so on and so forth. So the key takeaways, we can expect heavy rain, lightning, some gusty winds, maybe 40 to 50, but some of those winds could be about 60 miles per hour. So large hail, damaging winds are possible. And as I mentioned, this evening, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., that's when storms will just be moving over the area. And as I mentioned, how to prepare. First and foremost, do not panic. Just have ways to get your alerts and know what to do should any warnings are issued for your area. So this, we're not hyping, we're not trying to get you to panic, but this is a pretty rare storm system that's moving in, a pretty rare setup for these thunderstorms. And so it's not a guarantee for us to get severe weather. And if anything, it's going to be more isolated to scattered. So not everyone is going to get severe weather. All of us will get at least some downpours, lightning, some thunder, gusty winds. It's just going to be areas, as I showed you before, Puget Sound southward, where we could get some of the most intense thunderstorms. That's where the environment will be the ripest, if you will. High temperatures will be in the 60s and 70s, a little breezy, whereas tonight we're going to fall into the 40s and 50s, likely still going to have at least showers, maybe some thunderstorms. winds are going to pick up, and tomorrow we're much cooler because of this cooler system moving in from the Pacific. Mid upper 50s, lower 60s. As I mentioned, there is that chance for that isolated thunderstorm. So stay weather aware today, and we'll keep you posted consistently on air, online, King 5 Plus. So Thursday and Friday, we'll still have showers around. Highs will be in the 50s. Looking ahead to the weekend, we'll have showers more than likely around Saturday, and then late Sunday for now. That's when it appears as though we'll get our next round of rain, and into next week we'll have rain around at times. We just get system after system. So if you like the warmer weather, enjoy it, because obviously we don't have any of it in sight, at least not for the next 7 days. With all of that being said, as I mentioned, download the King 5 app on your phone. Make sure notifications are turned on, and you can download the King 5 Plus on any of your TV streaming services and so on and so forth. And you can always find the extended forecast on King 5 Plus, as well as on king5.com and on YouTube. So once again, stay weather aware, stay safe out there, and we'll talk soon.